Have you ever felt like the world was crumbling around you, with every dream slipping through your fingers like sand? What if one man's unbreakable spirit turned utter despair into unimaginable triumph? Dive into From Ashes to Empire, a true inspired tale of resilience that will ignite your soul and remind you that your greatest comeback starts now. Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications for Mr. William Life, your weekly dose of life-changing inspiration. Don't miss out. Your story of victory awaits. The story, From Ashes to Empire. In the shadowed alleys of a forgotten industrial town named Riverton, where the air hung heavy with the scent of rust and regret, lived a young boy named Alex Harlan. Born into a family teetering on the edge of poverty, Alex's earliest memories were not of playgrounds or birthday cakes, but of his father's weary sighs after long shifts at the steel mill and his mother's quiet tears over unpaid bills. The Harlan home was a modest two-bedroom apartment on the 5th floor of a crumbling building, where the walls seemed to whisper stories of better days long gone. Alex, with his wide brown eyes and unruly mop of dark hair, often sat by the window, watching the world below bustle with purpose while his own life felt stagnant, like a river dammed by invisible forces. Alex's father, Thomas, had once dreamed of owning his own repair shop, fixing cars and machines with the skillful hands that now bore the scars of factory work. But a workplace accident when Alex was just 5 left Thomas with a limp and a lifetime supply of painkillers, dashing those dreams into oblivion. His mother, Elena, worked as a seamstress, her fingers flying over fabrics in a dimly lit workshop, mending clothes for families who could afford new ones. They loved Alex fiercely, instilling in him the value of hard work and perseverance, but the weight of their struggles pressed down on him like an unrelenting storm. School was a refuge for Alex, where he excelled in math and science, his teachers praising his quick mind and insatiable curiosity. Yet, even there, the taunts of classmates about his threadbare clothes and second-hand backpack chipped away at his confidence. As Alex entered his teenage years, the family's fortunes took a darker turn. The steel mill, the lifeblood of Riverton, announced massive layoffs, and Thomas was among the first to go. The news hit like a thunderclap, shattering the fragile stability they had maintained. Elena picked up extra shifts, but it wasn't enough. Bills piled up, and soon, eviction notices adorned their door like unwelcome decorations. Alex, now 14, felt a burning sense of responsibility. He started working after school, delivering newspapers on a battered bicycle, his legs pumping furiously through rain and snow. Each penny earned was a small victory, but the hole in their finances grew deeper. One bitter winter night, as the heat was shut off for non-payment, Alex huddled with his parents under blankets, vowing silently that he would one day lift them out of this misery. Tragedy struck again when Alex was 16. Thomas, weakened by years of pain and despair, suffered a heart attack. The hospital bills mounted like an avalanche, and despite the doctor's efforts, Thomas passed away in the quiet hours of dawn. Elena was devastated, her once vibrant spirit dimmed to a flicker. Alex, thrust into manhood overnight, dropped out of high school to work full-time. He took a job at a local diner, washing dishes until his hands cracked and bled, then moved to construction, hauling bricks under the scorching sun. The physical toll was immense, but the emotional one was greater. Nights were spent comforting his mother, who spoke of giving up, of the world being too cruel. Alex refused to let her surrender. "We'll make it, Mom," he'd say, his voice steady despite the fear gnawing at his heart. Deep down, he harbored a dream, to build something of his own, a business that could provide security and perhaps even prosperity. In those grueling years, Alex discovered a passion for mechanics, tinkering with broken appliances in his spare time. He scavenged parts from junkyards, fixing toasters and radios for neighbors who couldn't afford repairs. Word spread, and soon he had a small side hustle, earning enough to keep the lights on. But Riverton was dying. Factories closed, families left, and opportunities evaporated. At 20, Alex made a bold decision. He would leave for the city, seek better prospects, and send money home. Elena protested, her eyes filled with worry, but Alex kissed her forehead and promised to return successful. With a backpack containing his few possessions and a heart full of determination, he boarded a bus to Metropolis, a sprawling urban jungle where dreams were said to come true, or be crushed mercilessly. Metropolis was overwhelming, a cacophony of honking taxis, towering skyscrapers, and people rushing like ants in a colony. Alex arrived with $50 in his pocket, sleeping on park benches until he found a job as a mechanic's apprentice in a rundown garage. The owner, Mr. Vargas, was a gruff man with grease-stained hands and a no-nonsense attitude. He saw potential in Alex's eagerness and taught him the intricacies of engines, from carburetors to computerized diagnostics. Alex absorbed it all like a sponge, working 12-hour days and studying auto manuals by flashlight in his tiny rented room. The city was harsh, rent was exorbitant, food scarce, and loneliness a constant companion. He missed Elena terribly, calling her weekly to assure her he was fine, even as hunger gnawed at his stomach. One fateful day, while repairing a luxury car for a wealthy client, Alex overheard a conversation about the booming tech industry. The client, a venture capitalist named Rebecca Lang, spoke of startups revolutionizing transportation with electric vehicles and smart tech. Intrigued, Alex struck up a conversation, sharing his ideas about affordable, eco-friendly repairs. Rebecca was impressed by his ingenuity and offered him a part-time gig consulting on a new project. It was his first break, a glimmer of light in the darkness. With the extra income, Alex enrolled in night classes at a community college, studying business and engineering. Sleep became a luxury, but his vision sharpened. He would start his own auto repair chain, focusing on sustainable practices and community service. Challenges mounted. A rival mechanic sabotaged his work, leading to a lost client and a blow to his reputation. Then, Elena fell ill back in Riverton, diagnosed with pneumonia from overwork. Alex rushed home, using his savings for her treatment. Sitting by her bedside, he confessed his fears. "I don't know if I can do this, Mom." Elena, weak but resolute, squeezed his hand. "You already are, son. Remember, from ashes, we rise." Her words became his mantra. Returning to Metropolis, Alex redoubled his efforts. He networked at industry events, pitching his ideas to anyone who would listen. Rejections came in waves. Too young, too inexperienced, too risky. But each no fueled his fire. At 25, Alex secured a small loan and opened his first shop, Harlan Auto Solutions, in a derelict warehouse on the city's outskirts. It was bare bones, a single bay, second-hand tools, and Alex as the sole employee. He advertised through flyers and word of mouth, offering free diagnostics to low-income families. Business trickled in slowly. A single mother brought her minivan, grateful for the honest service. An elderly couple praised his fair prices. Gradually, reviews spread online, and customers multiplied. Alex hired his first employee, a young apprentice much like himself, and expanded services to include electric vehicle conversions. Success wasn't linear. The economic downturn hit, forcing Alex to lay off staff and take on debt. Sleepless nights returned, doubts whispering that he should quit. But he innovated, partnering with local environmental groups to promote green tech, attracting eco-conscious clients. By 28, Harlan Auto had 3 locations, employing 20 people. Alex brought Elena to Metropolis, buying her a cozy home where she could rest. Her pride in him was palpable, her health improving with the stress lifted.